Hi there, glad to see you all. Welcome to panel discussion, Women in Gaming. My name is Stacey Yamkova, game release coordinator at American Gaming System, and today I will moderate this panel discussion. So I would like to introduce our speakers. First of all, welcome Burçin Haydaş, growth manager at TapNation.
Thank you, Stacey, and really glad to be here. It's Burçin. Really nice to meet you all, by the way. I'm a growth manager, and I'm really, as I mentioned, glad to be in here, waiting for some, the great discussions as well. I'm a growth manager at TapNation, and I'm in here as a, for behalf of all the women that work in TapNation. As you know, TapNation is the one of the biggest company in the industry that succeeded very great hyper casual and the idle games. So that's all from my side.
Thank you. Welcome the representative from Zynga. I don't know for sure how to spell your name. Just like is it Deepanjali Sarna?
It's Deepanjali Sarna, and I'm from Zynga.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
We are on the introduction part now, so we will discuss all questions. You are in time, so is it good? You are associated game designer at Zynga. Also, Yelizaveta Maikan, senior publishing manager at Moonee. Welcome.
Hello, Stacey. Thank you so much. I'm very excited to be here and to touch such an amazing topic as women in gaming. I'm representing Moonee Publisher, and we are all about the support. We are supporting the studios on each stage of the game, starting from the game idea, and we are helping them, not only publishing manager helps, but also the game designer. We have a creative team, very strong, and I want to show Moonee as a really, really supportive publisher. I really love it in Moonee.
Thank you. It sounds really good. Next one speaker is Luna Javier, creative director and co-founder of Altitude Games. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. It's nice to be on this panel. Thank you for having me. My name is Luna. I'm based in the Philippines. I'm a co-founder and creative director of Altitude Games. We are a mobile and Web3 company, and I've been in game design and production for 20 years now. So I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. And finally, Marina Bondarenko, business developer at Miniclip.
Yeah, hey everyone. So nice to be here. So yeah, it's not the first time being on a Hyper Games conference, so really love it. So thank you for invite. And yeah, I'm not in a hyper casual anymore, but still women in games. So yeah, I'm now with a with Miniclip. Yeah, so before I was like working with Boombeat, so they were doing some hyper casual stuff. But now with Miniclip, we are doing more casual to mid-core games. But yeah, still supporting women and still interesting to know how you guys doing. Yeah, and yeah, nice to be here.
Thank you, ladies. Today we will discuss different topics, and after all insights, we could answer questions from the chat from the audience if we will have. I guess we will definitely have them. And also, I would like to introduce myself as well. I have more than 7 years of experience in game release and project management, and owning all stages of project life cycle. And AGS is global company focused on creating a diverse mix of entertaining gaming experiences for every kind of player. And my company AGS is Las Vegas-based company which makes gaming tables and interactive solutions for gaming houses, casinos all over the world. Okay. Actually, the first question which we will discuss is why did you decide to enter in the gaming industry, and can you tell me more about the journey? Who would like to be the first?
I can go first since I think I'm the oldest one here. Yeah, so 20 years ago here in the Philippines, there was no gaming industry. So it wasn't something that I wanted to be in just because there were no, that wasn't a career you could have here. And when I graduated from college, I saw an ad in the paper to be a 3D artist for a company. They ended up being the first game company in the country. And I thought that if I got this job as a 3D artist, I could get into Pixar, which was really my dream. I had studied film in college and I thought I wanted to be a film writer. So I ended up in the industry by accident thanks to that job. And it turns out I'm a terrible 3D artist. And so 2 weeks into my first job out of college, my boss said, "This isn't going to work out, but I heard you can write, so maybe you can write the game that we're making instead." So that's how I ended up in game design. And I discovered that writing for games is much more interesting than writing for film. And that's how the local game industry started as well. And so 20 years later, I'm still here. So that's my story.
Maybe I can continue. I was in the industry like a whole different one. I was working for some other company called as Johnson & Johnson. Maybe you heard them before. And I was a traditional marketeer in there. And after 8 years, I just think about how these some kinds of apps and games, free to play, gaining some money. I just think about that constantly, and I just started to the googling that how they are making money with the free to play, free to download or install. And I applied to some of the game company in Turkey, and about 4 years ago. So that's how my journey started from the scratch.
Cool. Sounds interesting. So I think I can continue. So my situation was kind of alike, like I entered AC space like 5 years ago, started with affiliate marketing, UA, and I was like, okay, that's really interesting. But then I was like, okay, I must change something, I'd like to have new challenges. And I don't know how it happened. I was about to find something new. There was like ads in LinkedIn, and I was like, okay, I'll apply. Publishing manager, have no idea what they're doing, but yeah, let's give it a try. They contact me back and saying like, look, we are heading to a conference in a week and we need someone who speaks Ukrainian and Russian. I'm like, okay, I can help you. And they're like, okay, so if you're not scared, let's go. And I'm like, okay, let's give it a try. So yeah, basically just funny story how I entered and how after 3 years, I'm like, okay, I'd like to stay here. Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, it's a good one. I like it.
Thank you.
Listening to everyone's experience, I just realized that I'm the least experienced in the panel. So I got into the industry just because I loved games a lot. I used to play Counter-Strike, Dota, and all of that. And that's how I got into the industry. I completed a degree 2 years ago, and I've been working in Zynga for a year now. Prior to that, I was just indie most of the time.
You're very welcome here. We're happy to have you.
Thank you.
Yes, definitely.
My journey started in hyper casual games also a couple of years ago, and it was a COVID time. I came with a with a project management and business development background in IT projects, so it was a little similar but still different. And the hyper casual games was such a boom in that time, so it was something exciting and interesting, and it comes from the background of the entertainment, and I like the atmosphere there, like everybody trying to do cool things so the other people can relax and dress and enjoy a little bit playing. So I really love it.
Thank you, ladies. That's quite interesting, actually. We have different stories, but we all are in gaming now. So I'm wondering, what are your favorite games and genres? Who would like
Having
to
no favorite
share?
games, like having no favorite games, because like you are playing, I don't know, dozens of games within a day, and it's really so hard to pick, the one that you really like. And the same goes with genre, because like it depends on your mood of a day and a week, what you would like to do. Sometimes you play some cards, some kind of arcade or simulation, whatever, PC, console, or mobile. It's like such a big one. But if we're talking about mobile, I think the only game I still have on my phone is Subway Surf. So I think it says something. And like when we like entered this deal with Cyber like 2 months ago, I was like so excited about that. So I was like, really, Subway Surf is amazing, so I'm going to still playing this. Yeah, and like Sims. I think Sims, if we are talking about PC, is going to be Sims. Like once a year, one day, doing nothing, only playing Sims. No eating, nothing, just playing Sims, just kind of relaxation.
Yeah, I have played Sims also, for sure.
So you know this, yeah? Like saving money, doing that stuff.
I can say that my favorite genre is hyper casual. Because the good thing about the hyper casual, you can play whenever, wherever you want, even when you are cooking, even you are working. It's the great thing about this job. You have to.
Oh, something else.
So my favorite genre is always the hyper casual one. And, now I'm back.
Yeah. We're all right.
Okay, great. So my favorite genre is the hyper casual ones, because this is the limitless that you can play everywhere, in every time. Yeah, that's the great one for me.
I
Yes,
also
Elizabeth.
like hyper casual games. Obviously, I'm playing them every day with the studios when we are testing games. And if we are talking about the hyper casual, I really, really like the now trending idle arcades games in hyper casual, because I cannot say what is my favorite, because usually you're playing like for 1 week hyper casual and then switch to another game, right? But all of them are so good.
Thank you.
The only, like, if I had to pick one game, which is my all-time favorite, it would be Assassin's Creed 2, because it's a beautiful game. The story is driven so beautifully. Anyone like who has played that game would know that it was the peak of its time. And if a genre, I would, just because I play a lot of PC games and not really hyper casual, I prefer FPS. It's something that I've been playing a lot. And apart from that, there's narrative driven text based games, which are pretty fun.
FPS is good. It's really good. Yeah. Especially for a girl, like playing FPS, you're just like, oh my God, like you love this stuff, like Counter-Strike or some kind of a shooting, this kind of a stuff, looking from another angle. Yeah. I think boys really love it. Yeah. For girls, it's kind of a rare, unique situation, love this kind of
True,
games.
you don't really find girls out there.
Yes, it's hard, but we know you now, so you can be a good advisor.
Sure.
Yes, Luna, please.
Yeah, I guess I'm the last one. I'm just trying to check if my connection's okay, because I think I freeze once in a while. So I found that it's good to have like a favorite game answer to the question. It's like answering what's your favorite movie. It's an impossible question, but for me, I do have a favorite game, and it's Mass Effect. If you can see the painting behind me, that's actually a Mass Effect. Oh no, did I freeze? There you go. Yeah, so the Mass Effect trilogy is my favorite game, and I have a painting of it here in my house. And specifically Mass Effect Legendary, which is the remastered version that came out during the pandemic. But yeah, I love the trilogy, and I'm a huge RPG fan.
Okay, girls, thank you. It was quite interesting to know your favorite games, actually. What advantages can women bring to gaming industry? How do you think?
So women in the gaming industry would change the entire persona of the industry. For now, if you see, many games are dominated towards the wider audience, that is the male. So problem here is when you see a woman playing games like Counter Strike or something, it's just you don't have a female character in there. So here Valorant is doing something good where you have female characters. So there are the games that are new, they have the female characters, and these characters are not sexualized. And probably there might be female designers in the team who came up with this idea at some point. So having more of female in the industry would just change the whole narrative of the industry. That's my opinion here.
Thank you.
I think makes a lot of sense, honestly. I was about to say something alike, we as women, we know this feminine audience, we know what we like, we know what we dislike, and basically we can have, some kind of a concept, what is good for us to play, like how we are going to do it, how we are going to behave even within the game. So I think like we have a massive impact on this one from game design perspective or the broader audience, like what kind of games are going to be suitable for like ages, like different group ages, like what your mom plays, like what your, I don't know, daughter, like plays. So basically it's more about gathering the knowledge, and working with this like audience, understanding what is good, what we like, what we don't. So, empower, others to do something that we're really going to enjoy later playing.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, Marina, I'm totally agree with you. And another thing about the women that's bringing out the multitasking to the product phase, I think, because when you are trying new metas, please give it to a woman. So if she can give all the feedbacks within the meta size, because we are really good at the multitasking. So I think giving great feedbacks within the product phase and giving the great feedbacks with the the other phases too. So that's another great things that women are bringing to the industry.
I fully agree with you.
I agree with all of you, to be honest. Like, as Marina mentioned, there are such a big amount of female audience, especially in hyper casual games. I think it's even more female audience than the male. Also, like about the multitasking, I also thought about it. I agree with you, Burçin. And what I would like to add is, I think females by birth have a very, very aesthetical point, like vision. And games, it's about the visual too. So we are naturally see these details and these like colors, like what is better to change to make it more attractive for the audience, for the players, and bring an amazing experience to our players.
Thank you. Anyone else to add something?
Yeah, and the data shows as well, right? Especially during the pandemic, that there are over 40% in the world of gamers are female now. Like it's really an old concept that games are for men. Specifically, games are for 18 to 25-year-old men. They're actually the minority now, and that's probably very uncomfortable for some people to accept. But there are more of us. Like we are playing on our phones, we're playing hyper casual games. We are gamers. Our moms are gamers. And the more female game developers we have, the less that these games will be kind of marketed towards that old school male gamer stereotype.
Thanks, Luna.
I feel like the whole concept of the female characters being a damsel in distress would change once we have more of female designers and developers out there.
100%.
Yeah. Okay, let's switch to next one topic. Tell us about the type of work that goes into being a gaming influencer. What makes your situation unique? Who would like to be the first?
I can start. Amazing thing about being game influencer. In my position as a publishing manager, I am a mentor, let's say, for studios to raise their expertise, to give the feedback where the game will go, right? So even we are discussing it when it's just an idea or they develop the game already. So I think as a female, as a woman, I'm bringing my vision and also my expertise to the studios. So and this is unique because most of the developers are men, right? Also, I have some studios. I'm working with some studios where developers are women, and this is amazing because each year I see like more and more women developers. But still, I think as a publishing manager, I really can influence, where the game will go.
Thank you.
So the company I work for, like Zynga, has a very good STEM education program where we focus on teaching young girls about how the industry is, like what options they have. So coming from India, you have two options: engineering or medical. You don't have any other options. So what we focus is on going to colleges which are female colleges, and we would teach them about, okay, this is an option. You could be a PM, you could be a developer, a designer. So that is something that I've been doing lately, where I focus on teaching younger generation about the options they have. And we
I think
have
that's like close to me as well.
Okay.
Just like it's like, like here in Miniclip, we as well, we value, we know the value, we understand the values, that people can bring, and especially like being in a position like a business developer or publisher manager, like they're kind of alike sometimes, in some cases, but we don't work with Jira, thanks God. But like in terms of like how you can influence and help others, especially how it usually happens when you're a young girl entering the industry. You don't have any connections, no networking, no people, nobody to support, and you're like, okay, I need to find someone like a mentor who can help me out to progress in my career. And you should always be about this, like speak up, like speak up loud, stand, understand what you want, what you need, and you always need to find this right person who is going to help you, to empower you, to give you this kind of a, conscious, what you can bring, what you can value. And once you're at this position, when you find yourself, you understand who you are, what you can bring, and how valuable you are, it's so easy for you. No, it's not. Definitely it's not. But, like it's getting easier from day to day because you're getting new challenges. But I think like the main thing here, like I've been working with like women's in games. I've been the ambassador there. So I think you've heard of this program as well, the great one. I think some of you have participated in this as well. Yeah, like it empowers women, to be connected, to help each other as much as they can. So I think the main thing here, like being about like gaming influencer, I cannot call myself like a gaming influencer anyway, like within the industry, but like to find some kind of a community with like-minded people, or some people who are struggling, maybe younger than you, or maybe just a lower position, or starting the journey, and always helping them. It's more about caring, helping, and just saying like, look, it's going to be okay. Yeah, you can do it. No worries. You will do it. Just it will take some time.
Marina, that is so meaningful to me, because that's exactly what I feel like my career has changed from being the one making games to being the one like mentoring other people, because I've done the time, right? Like I'm okay. So now I'm also in Women in Games. I'm an ambassador like you, but I've also been spending the pandemic really trying to find other women in the Philippines who need mentorship. And it's hard because, like, Deepanjali, there is still stigma here if you are a woman, that especially if you're a young female student. Like, some of them have told me that they're interested in games, but their parents think it's a male job, or they see the news and they see all these terrible companies with issues. And I feel like we all have to kind of make the change ourselves. So I also don't think I'm an influencer, but I am proud, like Marina, to be a Women in Games ambassador. I think it's a really good organization and a community to join. If there are any other female developers watching now, the community is an open Discord community, and just to talk to other women making games around the world in all levels, in all departments, it's really mind-blowing to know that we have such similar stories, and you have probably gone through something and can give advice to somebody else halfway across the world, and you never would be able to do this. Like pre-pandemic, we would have to meet at a conference at a random party to do this, but now we can do it this way. So I think we should all use our voice for good as well.
Oh, something happened to the microphone, I guess. But we hear you partly, but I guess it could be checked. Anything else to add, girls, regarding this topic?
I think, I just wanted to mention that I've heard of Luna's initiative on Philippines last week. I've met Mafalda and from Women in Games, and she told me about it, and I was so super excited that you're doing this. So kudos to you. Just cannot say more. That's a great one. I know that a lot of people applied, and you just were about to find the time, to speak to them all and support as much as they can. So it's amazing.
Thank you, and I'm so jealous that you met Mafalda. I haven't met anybody personally yet from Women in Games, so that's awesome.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. I guess we have also questions regarding support. We will discuss in the nearest future. But what can be done to promote more women and their better reception in gaming industry? How do you think?
Oh, that's great one, I think. When you are putting game word to any sentence, everybody is just thinking of all the men's just gaming and doing the developments and doing the visualized and all the things. But the strange things about that, we are as a woman, coming forward, that saying that gaming is not only related with the men's. On the contrary side, what we are proposing and what we are getting to this industry is life changing and the industry changing, I think. So I think we should stand that alone, and saying that we should come as a similar with these conferences, and saying that there's not such a thing that game is only related with the men's, but we are in here as a woman, and our perspective brings out a new the phases in the industry. And don't worry about anything about the industry. We can mention these kinds of topics a lot more, because of they are really asking so much that what you are doing, what's your position in the gaming side, are you just playing the games, or what are the situations, what are the perspective as a woman? They're always asking that, because there is always a question mark on the woman's head, that what is our mission in this industry. But I think they shouldn't fear of any this kind of question marks, and we should talk about more and more about these kinds of perspective and the missions about it.
Thank you. Yes, please.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you, Burçin, because I also see it as a lack of information that it is okay to be a woman and to work in gaming industry, because of kind of association that gaming is only about the men, only men can develop the games, promote the games, etc. So I think it's on our shoulders to speak out more about it, like share the posts in LinkedIn, whatever, like where we are participating. So yeah, I think the main problem is the lack of information about that.
I think we can create some more organizations, like kind of non-profit organizations to support women, like in gaming or whatever, not in gaming, in IT. I know there are a lot. Actually, there are some organizations, like quite a huge list of those, and they're helping each other. But I think, yeah, the main stuff here, just like to speak up, to maybe to write a small review, like saying something about how was the conference, how many great women you've met, like what you've done together, what kind of initiative you bring to the table. So yeah, I think it's more about discussing that, like showing the world that we are here and we are doing a lot, and we would like you as a new learners, come to the industry, join us and help us, because you have bright minds, great ideas, and we are here basically to do that.
Yeah, I agree with you,
Marina, on this. That's the whole point. You need to spread the education. If I didn't know about the whole that there's a possibility I could be in the gaming industry, maybe I wouldn't have been here. The whole point was I managed to find something, then explained it to my family that okay, there's something apart from engineering too. Maybe I could get into design and it's going to be fun. And so the whole lack of education, the changing of mindsets, because when you start working here, the first thought that comes like, oh my god, there are going to be so many men. Not that there might be some women around that I could talk to and have a small community, even if not at my workplace, maybe outside. And that's where again women in games is a great media for that.
Yeah, it's really important. I guess we have answered or the next question, but it might be like anything else to discuss. Can you talk a little bit more about why it's so important for females in gaming community to support each other, cultivate ideas, build relationships, and push for more diversity in gaming?
I can start with this one. I'm gonna talk really slow to see if that helps. Me being choppy right now. It's nighttime here, so I feel like everyone's on the internet and it's probably hogging the bandwidth. I blame them. But yeah, so the thing that Marina was mentioning was when I opened a public call for a mentorship. Basically, I said any woman in the Philippines who wanted mentorship in games, whether you were a student or a CEO, I would pick 3 women, and I opened it to the public just on Facebook. I didn't run any ads or anything like that. But what I learned from the experience was there were so many women from all over that didn't know anybody in the industry. And if you work in a games company, this is weird because there are women in your company or a woman, somebody else. But then I realized if you were a student, like what Deepanjali was saying, if you were a student, how would you ever meet the CEO of a game studio? Like, you would never meet one unless they came to your school, and even then it's not like you would be their friend, right? Like, you wouldn't have these connections unless an opportunity arose for you. And so it was actually hard for me to read all the stories because I realized that I wanted to connect everybody because there were 62 applications and I wanted all 62 of them to be friends because some were like, I'm a game artist, I want to make a game, but I can't code. And then I'm a game programmer, but I don't know how to make art. So, oh no, am I freezing? Am I here? There I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so it's like these women could have all the opportunities, but sometimes life doesn't give them any, right? Or they could be studying another course and they don't think that games is an option. And so what ended up happening was I obviously couldn't mentor everybody, but they ended up self-organizing, and we started a Discord community where they could all just chat. And I feel like sometimes we just have to find another woman who wants to get in the game industry or a woman who's in the industry but needs support, and just help that one woman. And if we all did that, we would double immediately, right? And that's how I realized that we have it. We're lucky we already have the jobs that we want. Like listening to all of you, we're all very happy in the companies we're in, right? But a lot of women don't have this opportunity. So we have to find one other woman and help them get to where they want to go. So that's kind of how I think of like why it's important that women support each other.
Definitely, you're right.
Yeah, totally agree with you, by the way, Luna. You know, when we are facing some situations in the industry, for example, I know and I'm sure, 100% sure, in fact, that some of you already faced these situations and you know the answers and you got the experience. So, so I can ask all of you that, did you have some issue, something like that? So you can help me with that. So these kinds of, you know, experience sharing would be great for any of us. And so I think these kinds of helping and the experiences sharing would lead us to more, you know, the more mentoring for each other. And yeah, these kinds of experience sharing would be perfect for us to lead some other women to get in the industry.
Yeah, I wanted to mention that the amount of support of women in the gaming is so huge. I was so surprised when I get to this industry and I met so many, even we are still few in the gaming industry, but I met so many women in LinkedIn who I never see in person because we all based in different countries, but like this amount of support, sharing the contacts, giving the ideas, like, I don't know, like, here is the conference. Would you like to be a speaker? It will be good for your company. I will give you this contact. So I really, really surprised and appreciate this amount of support that we are spreading between us.
Yeah, I agree with you.
The fact
Marina,
that women are always together, like women are always tightly bound to each other, and that's how the whole community, the whole support works. So there's always someone you could go and ask. Like, you don't have to hesitate if they are a CEO or if they are the director of a company. You could just go and be like, you know what, I'm facing this issue, maybe you could help me. And they would. That's how we all are. That's how maybe we are meant to be.
yeah,
And
definitely.
that's the whole reason why we survive in the industry so well.
Yeah, I think it's a kind of a style I wanted actually to mention. So when you're bringing like new joiners, you know, like new women who are just like I don't know, green out of the uni, you know, and they're like would like to enter and they don't know whom to talk to, and sometimes they're reaching to you like asking for something. They're like, I would like to enter a gaming industry. What you can tell me about it? And you're like, okay, so it's good. There is nothing to be scared of. You should give it a try. You know, like you are going to work with like gaming industry leaders, and you don't need to be afraid, you know, like to speak up and show who you are because you're valued. We appreciate you, you know, like all of the ideas, everything you do, we're here for you. We're standing for you. Definitely, you know, like it's like a pink balloon. Yeah, like sometimes it happens like vice versa, you know, in a different way. But I think like 90% of people are like this, you know, and they're here to support, to help, because everybody remembered how they entered the industry and they remembered how they started their way. And when it was like some years ago, you were like here sitting alone and you were like, okay, I don't know whom I need to talk to. And now you have like lots of connections, lots of people that you know, and you're like, okay, this person is good to talk about this one is good about it, you know, you can get advice from that. So that's why I think it's really important, especially for new people, you know, coming, to push them, because sometimes they're like worked for like a half a year, they're like, I'm struggled, I under, you know, some kind of a panic attack, I don't know what to do next, I'm so scared, you know, I'm so scared to fail. Push them, you know, like as much as we can, just here to push, to say it will be hard, but you will learn and it will be good, you know, after that you will enjoy it.
You're definitely right, Marina. Thank you. Okay. the last one topic to discuss, and I guess we already have a question from audience, but what is the best piece of advice you would give to the female looking to grow in gaming space?
I can start with a small one, and because I think I already mentioned this one. So believe in yourself and never be afraid to fail. So failing means that you are moving. If you are moving, you are alive. If you are alive, you are learning. So constantly learning, dream of something that you want to achieve, and basically everything is going to be near you. Just make it as do, like not like wish about something, just do it. Small step, later, going to bring you the great advantage of everything you've done. It's going to be an experience, and you're going to apply it basically to every part of your life. So just do, learn, come back, think, rethink, come again, give it a try.
Yeah, totally. This industry is the most dynamic industry that I have ever seen in my life. And when you are getting this industry, you are not doing the business, you are also doing a pleasure. You are doing your hobby. That's the great thing about this industry. So you have plenty of times that you're gonna do some pleasure and the hobby. So I think it would be the first advice that I would give to other women.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, Elizabeth.
I would give this advice, which was given to me when I started in the gaming industry, because this industry a little bit different than others, because they are not kind of like only way to make a hit game, for example, right? So it's kind of you're trying different things, you're creating, and this is why this industry is so dynamic. And the advice that was given to me is just be confident that you have it all, your ideas are valued, and there is no right thing. And I think as a woman, we are have a nature as doubting ourselves, right? So it's just like, so for women, it's so important to just be confident and keep going in this industry.
Yes, for sure.
So this industry is all about doing what you love, because people come here for the love for games. So just be yourself, love the work you're doing, and just be focused on your goal, and don't let anyone tell you anything. Like, ignore everyone else. Focus on what you want and just go towards it.
So I guess
yes,
Lena, please.
Sorry. I wanted to say that I wish I had all of your confidence like 10 years ago. Especially like Elizabeth, that was me. I didn't believe in myself until like last year. You know what I mean? But yeah, the most common question I got in the mentorship applications was, how do I get into games? That was like the number one question. And the answer I always say is, the only way to learn how to make a game is to make one. So you have to actually start making a game, even if it's just for yourself. And there are so many ways you could do that. Like hyper casual is a perfect genre for that. Just make it for yourself. Don't think about the money yet. That's a trap. Learn how to make the game by yourself, even if it's ugly. Learn what makes you like excited. Is it, it's the gameplay, or it's the art, or it's the code, or it's like the marketing, like, or the social media? Like, what is it that you really like about this whole terrible process of making your first awful game? And that's how you learn. And exactly like what Marina said as well. And then you make more games. You learn as you fail. And you just have to do it. And like Deepanjali said as well, you just have to do it. So if you want to get into the games industry, you just gotta jump in and do it.
Yeah, definitely. So I've got a first question from the audience. It's related actually to girls community, and people are asking how they could join to girls power support and get it. I guess first of all, we could be contacted in LinkedIn, and maybe you could like share any other ways.
Yes, I think there is like a website I can share lately in the chat. So you can basically apply for being like a women games ambassador. There is like several questions you just need to answer. I have several Slack channels. I can actually invite you to all of this, several groups. So just tag me on LinkedIn or I don't know, Facebook, whatever you're going to find me. It's easy. I have the same name everywhere. So yeah, just I will send you the links over maybe here in chat. So easy to join. Lot of like-minded people, just with think alike. So yeah, it's easy actually. And yeah, definitely you can create like, the easiest way for some people basically to get the people that from the same industry and you're working with a lot of people on a daily basis and put them in the one Slack channel. So basically right now we can create a new one right here, right now, right? So at least 6 of us and people who are watching this. So add into a new Slack channel and here you are, the new community, right?
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Marina. And
Yeah,
we've got also, yeah. Yes, please.
Oh, sorry, I looked up the website for women in games. Am I there? I hate my internet right now. Okay, so
Yes, we can.
womengames.org is the organization that a few of us are in, and you can apply to be an ambassador, but even if you're not, you can just join the Discord. You don't need a role, and if you're looking for a job as well, like people are hiring from there all the time, or you're looking for a game jam team, or you're just curious about something, you can ask questions there. A lot of women there ask for work advice. There are different channels for all the different departments. There's a safe space channel as well if you're going through something, and we will be there to support you. So Women in Games is a very good organization that's international and free to join. The other organization that I usually recommend is IGDA. That's the International Game Developers Association, or igda.org. So IGDA has a chapter in most major cities around the world, and they usually have events in their city. So they'll have game jams or seminars, things like that. So you could also look up if there is an IGDA chapter near you. Some of them do meetups. So that would be a good way to find other women as well.
Thank you. Okay, and one more interesting question from the audience is, what are some of the difficulties you have faced as women in gaming and how you have overcome them?
That's a very good question.
Yeah.
I think for the first year as a publishing manager and business development manager, I was talking with so many studios and inviting them for collaborate with the publisher. And sometimes I get these questions like, and you will introduce us to our publishing manager. I'm like, I will be your publishing manager. And they're like, watch me, because it was not that common that the publishing manager is a woman. And I'm like, don't worry, guys, I have enough expertise. I published the games. Everything's going to be okay. You will see. And at the end, of course, they love to work because like they're working with experienced professional, right? So it doesn't matter if you're a woman or man, but like I faced this situation, it was very funny.
Yeah.
Two funny stories from my side. One of them is my name is unisex in Turkey, and when I'm emailing them, they don't see my face and something like that. When I'm meeting them, they're thinking that this is the wrong person. They were waiting for some guy, not the woman, and they're literally be shocking, and they're asking that when Burçin gonna come to the meeting, and I'm saying that here it is, it's Burçin and I'm in here, for you to help. This is the first one. The second one was related that since I'm married, they're always asking that you are married, you're able to come to visit like international meetings or the cross cross meetings, and that's why they are always keep asking me about the things that, since I'm a woman and I'm the married one, so they have some question marks that's about the mobility. The this is the second one that happened to me.
Thank you. Anything else to add, girls?
So
I just want to say
thing
sorry, go ahead.
So one thing that I faced, a difficulty, it was again a funny one. There have been times where people would re-question when I say, okay, you know what, I've played this game. And they'd be like, you have played this game, but you're a girl. How do you play this game? So there have been times where you play online, you talk on the mic, and they would question that, are you really a girl? So that's the only difficulties. Apart from that, I am just lucky enough to end up in the industry at this point where there are many women. So it's a good time to be here, I feel.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel terrible that this is happening now. Like the stories that you all have, because there's not enough time to go through what I went through 20 years ago. But I was hoping that it was better now, right? Because there are more of us now, and that saddens me a lot that we still have to deal with these stereotypes. But that's precisely why more women should be speaking at conferences and being in management and leadership and going to these international meetings and just showing them that, we can make games too. Like, it's ridiculous why people haven't gotten this yet.
Yeah. Okay. I guess we finished with questions. I would like to say a thank you to everyone for bringing your expertise and experience around the table and engaging in such a constructive way. You're absolutely fantastic. I hope to see you during next Hyper Games conferences as well.
Thank you.
Can we all please connect, by the way? Can we all yeah, okay, good. I don't want it to be over, but it was great to meet everybody. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you
so much for having me.
Thank you so much.
That's great. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
girls.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.